In this session, we'll see how the three-level hierarchy of subnet is created. So uh, the main address is this one. Say consider an organization is given this main IP address. So the mask is 26. So we have IP address 32-bit. So 32-bit minus 26, you have 6 bits remaining. So using 6 bits, you can assign the host ID for all the PCs belonging to this organization. So 2 to the power of 6 means totally we have 64 addresses. Now using this 64 address, this organization wants to create 3 subnetworks. So 3 subnetworks means how can you divide it? So the subnet 1 has 32 and the remaining 32 is divided again 16 and 16. So you have total 64 addresses in this organization. Now, for the whole organization, this is the main IP address given. Okay, now we can subdivide this network into 3 networks. It's called as subnet. So how do we transfer the packets? Now, on what basis will the packet go? So we can divide, this is 32-bit block, and this is 16 block and 16 address block. So in order to differentiate where the packet has to go, we need a router. So there's a separate router inside the organization which will help in transferring the packets to each of these subnetworks. And whatever the packet that is coming from the outside network will refer to this organization with this main IP address. So the outside packet will not refer to the inside IP address. Instead, it will only give you the main IP address. So once it comes here, then it sends the packet to the proper destination. So we'll see how this is created using a Cisco packet tracer. Now here I've just created 3 subnetworks using PC and a hub. So the main IP address for this whole organization is this IP address. So it is 26 bits are used as a mask. So when you come to the subnetwork 1, the mask number changes to 27. That is because the number of addresses here is 32-bit address. 32-bit PCs are there. So for 32, 2 to the power of 5 is equal to 32. So 5-bit is enough to differentiate the IDs or the host IDs of this subnetwork. So the remaining bits are used as the network ID mask. So 32 minus 5 is 27 is your mask ID. Now similarly for the other 2 networks, 16 PCs are there or 16 addresses are given. For 16 addresses, 4 bits are sufficient. So 32 minus 4 gives you 28. So 28 is your network ID. So that is the mask to represent your network ID. Even subnet 3 is 16 addresses. So the mask will be 28. So you can see how the 26 got increased to 27 and 20. So as you divide the main organization into subnetwork, the mask increases. The number of bits in the mask increases. That is because the network ID changes. Now for the whole organization, this is the network ID. When you subdivide it into subnetworks, now we have to give one unique ID for all these networks. So how do we get the unique ID? That is, the first address is used as the network ID. And how does this work is that when you apply this mask on any of these addresses, we get this as the address. That is 17.12.14.0. For any of these addresses in this organization, in this subnetwork 1, when you apply the 27-bit mask, when you add it with 27-bit mask, so the other 5 bits become 0. So the remaining address is nothing but 17.12.14.0. So that is how you get the network ID of the subnetwork. Similarly for this one, for any of the IP address you apply the 28 mask, you will get this number. So this number uniquely identifies the network ID of the subnet. Similarly for the third network, when you apply the mask, you get this as the network ID. That is because the way the IP address is assigned isn't continuous. So we're not giving random IP addresses. So the first block is going to have 32 addresses. So it starts from 0 to 31. The second subnet, the IP address is assigned from 32 to 47. And the subnet 3 is assigned from 48 to 63. And you have to here make a note that the last number is not used. Usually the last address is not used, but in this example, they have used the last address. The last address of the network is considered as the broadcast address. So you can, if you want to send a message, it can be broadcasted to the whole network. So that is considered as the broadcast ID. But in this example, they have used it. So just to follow the example, we'll just use the same addresses. Now we have the three subnetworks. Now to connect all these three subnetworks, we need a router. So we'll select the router. Now first we have to check whether the three links are available or not. So you can check here in the config. There are only two links. So this router is not suitable. So we'll take another router. Suppose we take this router 829. First we have to check it. So we have three links, but when you click on this link, you don't have any IP address configuration. So that's used for VLAN. So when you click on this, there's no option available. For the first one, you have an option. So there's only one link available. So we cannot take this router. Since these two routers are not suitable, we'll take a third router. So we'll take 2911, sorry, 2911. So when you click on this, so we have the IP address options for all the three links we have. So we can use this router. First, we'll connect it with the links. See, we have to connect hub to a router. So directly with PC, we cannot connect. So make sure you're connecting a hub and a router or a switch to a router. Now it is red color. So this indicates that the IP address has not been set. Now for this part, we need to set an IP address for this link, and this link. So we'll start assigning the IP address now. For the PC one, we'll start with the first address, that is 1. See, we cannot assign 0 because 0 represents the network ID of this one. So the first address of this network belongs to the network ID. So the first address is 17.12.14.0. So the next address is 1 and the last address is 31. So for router, we can assign the another address. So here we can assign the address So we have to give the same network ID. So when we click here, it becomes subnet mask. It is 17. So 17.12.14.2. So when you click here, now this becomes a class A subnet mask, but this is a subnet. So we have to give it is 27 bits. So up till here it becomes 24. So another 3 bits you have to set it as 1. So this will be a mask. And the value for this is 224. So here you have to assign it as 224. So now this is the subnet mask of this subnet. Now click on. So it becomes green color. So we have done 17.12.14.2. Similarly for the second network, it is a second link. So the network ID is 32. So 33 is assigned, we'll go for 34. Okay, now the mask is 28. So 28 means there are 4 bits 1, then 4 bits 0. So the value of this is nothing but 240. So this is the subnet mask for this second subnet. Click it on. So it becomes green now. So it has been properly set. Now the third link. So this starts with 48. 49 is assigned here. So we'll give the next address, that is 50. Now subnet mask is correct. It is 240 itself. So click on. 240 is for 28 bits. Now for the PCs, I've already set the IP address. So you can see here it is the starting address is 1 and not 0. So the subnet mask is 27 bit. 27 is 224. Now we have to give the gateway address. Now what is the gateway address is? Now for this network, it has to go through this link. So if it has to go to this link means which IP address. So this is becomes your gateway address. So assign this as your gateway address. Similarly for the other PC. Okay, so if I just click here, it comes class A address. We have to give the proper subnet mask. 24 is for 27 bits. Now the gateway address is Okay, now when you give this 31 as the last address, it gives you an invalid because the last address is considered as broadcast. So we'll just remove the last address and we'll just give the one address below it. So we'll just change the address now. So 224 is the mask, so it is correct. For this address, it's not giving you. That is because this is the last address because 31 is the broadcast address. The first address is considered as a network ID and the last address is considered as a broadcast ID for this subnetwork. So two addresses we cannot use. So other remaining address can be given the IP address for the host ID. Now the gateway has to be given. Similarly, you can set the IP address for the other two subnetwork. So the last address is 47, so it might give error. So I'll just change it to 46. Now for the third subnetwork, similarly, we can give the IP address and the mask. $240 because it is 28 mask. Now for the subnet 3, what is the gateway? Gateway is it has to go through this channel. So we had given the IP address as we cannot give the last address, so we'll just change it to 62. And we had assigned this IP address as 15. So that will be the gateway address for this PC. Now the gateway it has to go through this link. So that will be the gateway address. Okay, for this gateway we had not set. So the gateway address is this. For the subnet 2, it has to go through this channel. So the address that was set is this one. So we'll set the gateway address. Okay, now all the IP address has been set and all the gateway address has been set and the router also has been configured properly. Now we'll see whether we can send a message. Okay, initially it fails because the route has to be identified. So again it fails. Okay, now it becomes successful. So initially it will fail because the route has to be identified. So it has to set up the table. The router has to set up the table. So it can go to subnet 2 and it can go to subnet 3 also, in the reverse direction also. Okay. And this router belongs inside the organization. So it is not outside. So any packet that is coming from outside will have this address. And any packet which is traveling within inside will have these subnet IDs. And the subnet mask will tell you which is the network ID of these particular host. So this example will show you how the addresses are not wasted and only the relevant address are given to the each network. So if you have any class A address and if it is not used, you can actually subdivide and allocate it for different organizations. So that's the advantage of subnet. We'll see other advantages of subnet in the next examples.